So for the second lesson, as you can see here on the old scheme of learning, the aims were look at zoo history and then current legislation. This is very small section of a lesson, whereas in the actual content it's quite a large and important part. So this for me needs to be spread over a couple of lessons so that the learners really get their head around the legislation, because it is quite in depth. So my plan was to still look at the history of zoos, because it's quite interesting to have that base knowledge, so it's important. And then we're going to introduce current legislation, and towards sort of the second half of this lesson, the students will get into groups of 3, and again they're going to create a wakelet or something similar that you can choose, a little bit like this task we've been given for this week 5 task that we're doing this project on, but I'm giving them the legislation that's involved. So here we have the Secretary of State's Modern Zoo Practice, the Zoo Licensing Act, the Animal Welfare Act, and any health and safety. So I'm going to split them up into 4 groups. They're going to create one each. This is going to be happening over the end of this lesson and the next lesson. And it gives them a chance to get their digital skills up and running. And because some of the documents involved with these pieces of legislation, I thought a way of including some of the students that might not be so good at reading, show them readers how to use a read aloud app, because I use them myself. I find them really beneficial for doing large documents. So I would show them as part of the session there. So once I have given them their task, as the teacher, you obviously have to go around, check that everyone has understood the task, particularly those with more diverse learning requirements, make sure that they are fully understanding the task. So that's something there for inclusivity. So the second lesson, the learners will work for 35 minutes on that task. And then they will share it with the class. Their peers will individually give feedback. Again, that will be structured as to make sure that it is nice, positive, beneficial feedback. And again, that's keeping their digital skills alive, and particularly employability, making sure that the time management is ticked off, and working in groups, making sure they respect each other in their feedback and make sure that it's positive. So that is the first section of my scheme of learning that I've sort of given a little bit of a revamp.